Are you discovering that you're falling behind on levels? Your inventory is all over the place and unleveled. Then let's talk about the best and worst item in Holocure, Halu. So what is Halu? Well, Halu is a utility type item that allows you to gain a Holo coin for every 5 to 3 enemies killed, scaling off level. Halu is also a penalty type item, in this case increasing the spawn of enemies along with making them stronger. Each upgrade to Halu adds 2 to the enemy spawn rate, which according to the wiki will increase the base spawn rate by between 15 to 70%, depending on how far you are into a run. Also according to the wiki, one of the in-game numbers are wrong, and at upgrade 4, enemy strength is actually increased to 30%, not 33%. Keep in mind this strength buff is automatically applied to all enemies, including ones already spawned as soon as you obtain or upgrade the item. So why would you voluntarily make enemies stronger, potentially screwing over your run? I mean, at first glance, Halu doesn't seem to do much, only giving you bonus coins at the end of each run, which can be good for money farming, but it's high risk and it won't always appear, right? Well then, that's where you'd be wrong. There's actually one hidden effect to Halu that makes it very worthwhile to pick up. Halu essentially buffs the fundamental mechanics of the game. What do I mean? Well, if more enemies spawn, you can get more kills. And what happens when you get more kills? If you guessed more XP drops, you'd be correct. This is where Halu shines, by increasing the enemy spawn rate, allowing you to defeat more enemies and gain more XP. Halu significantly increases the rate at which you level, resulting in more items being gained and upgraded. Subsequently, this also means you'll have a much easier time transitioning from the early game to mid game and mid game to late game in a regular or endless run. Combine this with XP upgrades in the shop, and you'll be able to get insane XP gains. For example, in this background footage, I'm playing Zeta. Unlike say Rain or Iris, Zeta is a VTuber that doesn't have the most attack size or AoE clearing abilities, since her primary weapon shoots in a straight narrow line. She also doesn't have the most survivability tools like Ollie's undead form or Roboco's batteries, as her wide area shot is tied to her invisibility, which while good, is inherently pretty inconsistent at times due to her cooldown. To play devil's advocate though, inconsistencies due to cooldowns aren't just a unique problem on Zeta. Every VTuber will have their own cooldown issues, as 100% uptime is obviously broken. So just to be clear, this isn't just me bashing on Zeta. So because of this, I found myself scrambling a bunch to try and outkite the enemies. However, these downsides can be offset by just finding a few weapons and items like, say, spider cooking, psycho axe, or body pillow. So I decided to pick up Halu to try to increase my XP gain and boost my chances of finding and upgrading these items, which I luckily did. If we fast forward through this gameplay, we can see that because of Halu, even though I picked up injectable Asakoko, cutting my overall survivability down, the damage was actually still very useful to kill more enemies and level up, so long as I was careful. Through this, I obtained the shield from Body Pillow and upgraded my plugin Asakoko, and this would help with the fact that injectable Asakoko is draining my HP, and plugin Asakoko would be very good for its knockback and AoE damage. If we fast forward even more, we can see that because of Halu, I was able to reach level 50 by the 10-minute mark on the way to maxing out multiple weapons and items, as well as obtaining my first collab item. For reference, without Halu, I tend to get level 60 to 70 by the 20-minute mark on the final boss, even though I have XP upgrades from the shop. Now that you know how good Halu is, let me tell you about another use that Halu has, one that even top leaderboard players use. This would be in endless runs. In endless runs, Halu is used to obtain more score, Because your kills are a factor to getting higher scores, if more enemies can spawn, especially in the early to mid game before infinite Yagus spawn at 30 minutes, now let's say you pair that with some G ranks or fandoms, some shop upgrades, maybe you even pick up the researcher's coat or the study glasses, and some basic good items like the Psycho Axe, and you got yourself a pretty high leaderboard run. From what I've seen, many players when doing endless runs tend to pick up Halu, the researcher's coat, glasses, and they'll usually only take one or two basic weapons and later turn them into a collab with one more weapon. This is done with the modifier in the shop that limits the amount of items and weapons you can carry, and this is also that in the end game, when Yagus come running towards you, you'll only be upgrading movement speed so that you can just endlessly run from them. And this is done with the idea that the researcher's code is giving you more XP periodically, which is also scaling with glasses so that you can scale your damage into the late game per level, and having Halu will just allow you to get more enemy spawns. So next time you see Halu, don't underestimate the power of this glass of water. Try it out and see for yourself the success and failure it can bring. Linked down in the description is the wiki if you would like to find out more on Holocure. Thank you for watching. Remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want more guides, gameplays, and discussions like this. I'm Rico, and I'll see you in the next one.